about positive parenting, all right? And people these days have been encountering mostly parents out there. A lot of them, or let's say a lot of parents in today's world is experiencing a lot of challenges while parenting, all right, and while trying to carry out their parenting duty. And this channel is for you, all right, because I'm here to encourage you to stick to continue with your good works and never feel or will I say never at some point feel like this is not what you signed up for. This is not how imagine your life to be. That you are being exhausted and you're tired of the whole thing of the parent in quotes. All right. So based on the last video that I did about anger, children being angry, and how you as a parent can actually go about it. So today I'm going to continue with the part 2 of that, of the way you as a parent can go about handling your child when he or she is angry. All right. So the next step you should do when you figure out that your child is angry or he or she is throwing tantrums, the best thing you can do is not for you to be angry as a parent. All right. The next thing you should do, you're expected to do, is to calm down and also allow the child to calm down so that the child can be able to speak to you. When you are angry and the child, because you see your child throwing tantrums or being angry and you think that the right way to go about it as a parent is for you to be angry yourself because your child is throwing tantrums. Mind you, children showcasing, or will I say, expressing their emotions through anger indicates that something is wrong. So it is left for you as an adult to pay more attention to details, figure out ways to calm them down, and then let them speak at their own, convenience. Yes, don't force the child to speak. That's why I said the next step you can go about it when you figure out that your child is throwing tantrums or probably the child is angry. The next step is for you as a parent to calm down. Allow the child to calm down, all right? Don't just want this or expect the child to start speaking up, whereas the child is still, angry. Tell the child, baby, just calm down, all right? I understand what you're going through. Please calm down, all right? Calm down. I'm sorry. Calm down. Calm down. Everything will be okay. When you figure out that the child is calm, probably at that point, the child can probably speak up. Because most children, when they are angry, they cannot express how they feel. And whereas most children, when they're angry, even with their anger, they can speak up because they have mastered what we call good communication. All right, they are being taught on how to communicate. So even as much as they are angry, they can express themselves. But for most children, they cannot express themselves except for when they are calm, when their temper is low, when they are no longer expressing anything anger, when they understood that their parents or their guardian is paying attention to them, their guardian is, or will I say their parents, is ready to listen or to hear and to help them solve their problem of what causes their anger. That child will tend to calm down and also will speak up. All right. Please note, not all children can speak when they are angry. A lot of children, you need to allow them to calm down. Even some children, even as much as they are calm, they might not be able to speak to you the reason of their anger that particular day. All right. That's why, but the children you see showcasing this kind of attitude or character are basically our teenagers. Most teenagers somehow they tend not to tell you the reason for their anger. That's why you see some children when they are having issues, they will just barge in into the house. Maybe someone offends them out there. They will just come in. You'll be like, baby, what's and what is wrong? Why are you angry? Why are you upset? They will not be able to talk to you. Some will say, Mommy, don't worry, I'm fine. They will even talk to you in a low tone. All right. Then, but you as a parent, every parent has a way of knowing that his or her child something is wrong at some point in their life. You get. So that time you see the child not being, talking to you in a low tone and still not being able to express, or will I say to talk what has transpired, what has made he or she to be angry. Okay, so some children, you have to give them time to come to you to speak up. All right, so don't force it. The only thing you need to do as an adult is pay more attention and try to understand the right way to go about it. If not, if you feel or you think that the best way to go about you handling your child's angry or your child's tantrum is by you yourself being angry at the same time, or being angry that they are not speaking to you, they are not opening up to you, that is the wrong way to go about it. All right, give them time, allow them to calm down. Not every child can speak at their points of anger, at their points of overwhelmed, when they're overwhelmed about something. All right, so please take note of that. And that is basically the number one point of how to go or will I say, how to go about you handling your child's anger. And the second point is, or will I say, the second way of you to know, or will I say, how to go about your child's handling your child's when he or she is angry, is by teaching them to express themselves. I'm not talking about your teenage child. I am actually talking about your child that is of age 1 to 12 years old. All right? You have to be there when you notice that your child is always, is showcasing this tantrum, feeling unhappy. Teach your child, or find time to teach your child how to express him or herself. Teach your child how to say, I am angry because of this or that. Get, I am not happy because someone offended me. I am not happy about it. Just teach your child how to express themselves. That way you are letting them know that their voices matter. All right, so you don't just have to let go, or maybe just be there without you teaching your child on how to handle things, or how to go about things, or how to express their emotions. All right, that is why when you happen to teach your child at early age on how to express his or her emotions, the child will get to understand that when I'm angry, I am expected to speak up. You get that I don't need to hold on to myself. I don't need to, to keep it all to myself. I need to express how I feel. I need to let someone who offended me, I need to talk to them of what they did and how they should treat me better. Okay? Teach the child to speak up, to know how to speak up. It's very important. That way, you are training your child to be more self-confident. You are to know his or her right, to know his or her self-worth. All right, so please teach your child to learn to speak up. All right, so in that way you find out that you are now teaching them to know how to communicate, and also you're teaching them to know how to express their emotions, and you're also letting them know that they should know their self-worth and they should value themselves. You get, they don't need to allow anybody to speak to them in an in-manner tone. Okay, so when they are being offended by someone, or by their siblings, or by their friends, all right, or by their parents out there, they need to speak up to you. All right, so that way the child will be more confident and also the child will always find a way to confide in you when he or she is angry. So probably when your child is angry, your child will know that you're the number one person that will always welcome them to hear their own side of the story, to hear what has actually transpired, what has made them angry, because you, their parents, don't tolerate it when their children, when someone offended your children. You want to get to the root of it. Okay, so your child will always be bold enough, be willing enough to communicate to you when he or she has something that is bothering them, to the point of something that could have caused them to start acting up. But because you we're there to guide them on how to speak up, how to communicate, how to express their emotions. Your child will always know how to communicate with you, all right? So you will find it easy communicating with your children, and your children will also find it very much easy to communicate with you as their parents, all right? So that is basically the number two way for how you as a parent to go about, communicating, or let's say relating with your child when he or she is angry. My name is Chisom Vivian Ibiblem, and this is my parenting channel, and I am here to talk to you about positive and gentle parenting. All right, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do so, and please do it to share it. But if it's convenient for you, share this video. But if it's not convenient for you, please leave it. All right, I appreciate you a whole lot for staying tuned to know what this live stream is all about. Remember to always join my live stream every 9:30 on daily basis, all right? And don't forget to invite your friends, or to notify your friends, be it a single person, single lady, single guys out there, to always join my live stream here on YouTube, all right? Basically, sometimes they will feel, it is not necessary, and they are not at that parenting stage yet. But mind you, no knowledge is a waste, all right? There will always be a time that something that you learn from somewhere would benefit you at some point in your life, all right? So don't say because you are single or that you're not married yet, you don't have a child, that you're not supposed to know all these things. It is good that you have the knowledge of something, then when you are experiencing it, you know the best way to go about it, all right? So stay tuned as we dive into other ways that you can, apply your intelligence when it comes to handling your children's anger, or will I say tantrums. Okay. Another way is to reassure them and let them know that it is okay for them to feel the way they do. All right, because some children, when they are talking to you, when they are expressing their anger, and you as the adult in the house, why I'm saying as an adult is because I don't want to say parents, because it's not just parents that experience it. It could be a child that you're looking after. It could be a child that is in your daycare. It could actually be a child that your niece or your nephews. All right. So probably whichever way that you, as so long as you have a child that you're looking after, at some point you will experience them being upset, throwing tantrums, and also not being happy. So how do you do it? You reassure them that it is okay for them to feel the way they do, because it shows, is a sign that they are humans, and it's okay for them to express their emotions. Okay, when you tell a child this, the child will be very much confident, and the child will also learn to speak up, like I said earlier. So teach them to know that their voice matters, that it is okay for them to express their anger when they are not happy. All right. So that is basically the number three way to go about it, and which is the complete, ways, or let's say method, how a parent can go about it. Be it a parent, be it a guardian, can go about it, teaching your children, or let's say handling your child's anger, tantrums, and unhappy, feelings. Today, I'm going to be adding up some things. I'm going to be telling you some 7 common ways, or let's say things, that makes a child unhappy, that even to the point that some parents don't notice it. And number one reason why most children feel anger, or maybe they feel unhappy without their parents noticing it, is when they feel ignored. I know you'll be wondering, do children feel ignored? Yes, a lot of children, and let me say 80% of our children all over the world feel ignored. Yes, I'm not lying. Because sometimes, because of the modern way of life, now parents are more occupied with their daily activities, with their businesses, with their work, with their phones, with a whole lot of things that has kept them busy and made them neglect the fact that at some point in your life, when you try to figure out these things that has kept you busy, away from your child, you figure out that it doesn't want it. You get? So at some point in a child's life, they feel ignored. So when a child figured out that, or when a child feel ignored, he or she would start throwing tantrums just to get your attention. Do you get what I'm saying? You see? So it's them feeling ignored that is making them to be angry. So that is why I said you need to apply wisdom when you sense or when you notice that your child is unhappy. You need to ask yourself, what is the cause of my child's anger? What is your cause? Why is my child unhappy? That's when you know the right way to go about it. So that is basically number one. And number two is they are tired. I know this one. When your child has a busy day and yet you don't allow them to sleep. I'm using sleep now so that you get to understand it very well. You don't allow them to sleep because health-wise, it's advised that a child to sleep from 7 p.m. in the evening so that the child can be able to wake up even on his own without you waking he or she up by 5 a.m. in the morning. Probably to dress them up for school or for prayers or all of thereabouts. But you as a parent, you neglected it and you happen to have a lot of things occupy your mind that you fail to tell them, maybe go and sleep. Or probably when you allow your child to see maybe a or maybe a TV series and television series, sorry, and the child happens to, the brain, the body, as in everything about the child is weak, is tired, and let's say the child is sleeping late. In the morning, as a parent or as a mom, if you go there to wake your child up, you are going to notice that your child will not be happy because the child will be like, oh, mommy, leave me. I need to sleep. I want to sleep, or I still want to sleep, depending on how the child said it. Okay? So you will notice that the child will still want to sleep more. And before you know it, and you pressurizing the child to wake up at that time, knowing fully well that the child will not sleep on time, okay, the child will start being unnecessarily angry, starting from his wake up time. Okay, sorry, a minute, please. Let me turn down the volume of my television. So that is basically, sorry, I was away. So that is basically one of the signs, or let's say one of the things or the cause of a child being angry. All right. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do it to subscribe. I know this might not somehow not be your type of channel, the type of channel you vibe into, but I promise you, the more you tune in, or let's say the more you keep on streaming with us, you will get to understand a whole lot of things that that will benefit you in life, or will let's say in your parenting journey. All right, so stay tuned and listen, and you're going to grab a whole lot. Another reason why a lot of children get angry or throw tantrums that their parents don't know is hunger. Hey, this one is very important. Even as an adult, I know myself. I also sometimes I can react to hunger. Now talk more of children. Okay, when the child is hungry, their body becomes very much uncomfortable. So they now tends to be angry. They tends to showcase it with anger. So when a lot of children are hungry, when a child is hungry, you see that you start noticing, this, they'll start throwing tantrums up and down. Really, oh, mommy, 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 those kind of things. I know this one is common. A lot of parents know, have the idea of this one. But in as much as a lot of parents have an idea that hunger can make children angry, I still believe that there are also parents out there that don't know about it. And I also know that there are that here on this channel I have a lot of single guys and single ladies that still not know this. Have it at the back of your mind that when you become a parent, that hunger, when a child is hungry, they cannot see, they can't control it. When once a child is angry, and if you happen to have these ones that have this loud voice that they can scream when they are angry, hey, you are finished. No matter where you are, they are going to disgrace you. That child will disgrace you because that child is hungry. The child will have this tendency of shouting like if your if your brain is not working as a parent at that point in time, your brain is not working. If you don't know the quickest meal to make, as in, like, if you have not figured out the meal to prepare, you will figure out the fastest meal. In fact, that is when you will know the minute and the time every food gets done. So if you happen to be a parent out there, I don't know, this one is funny because it is one of the experiences that I had, and when I get to think about it, I tend to laugh because it's funny, but it's not funny. But when a child is hungry, God, even it's even better that you are someone is, and like someone is screaming at you. I don't know, but when a child is hungry, you'll be devastated. Like, you'll be confused at some point. So you start thinking of the best or the quickest, or let's say the fastest meal to prepare, so that that child can be able to shut up. You get, to be able to keep quiet, because if you happen to have those ones that don't just be moody, that are not always moody, but they tend to scream and cry, I'm hungry. I don't think you can enjoy it. You basically find a way to get that child to calm down by looking out for the best, or let's say snack, the fastest meal ever to give to the kid. So that is basically one of the reasons why most children, common reason children tends to, throw tantrums up and down, and also cry, or let's say expresses their hunger through anger. All right. So that is basically the number three. The number four is when they feel unheard. A lot of children, when, because you've taught your child to speak up, or because you have an intelligent child, or let's say a child that depends totally on you, all right, wholly on you, because every of our children depends on us, all right. That's why they are called our children, all right. So because they depend on us, when they have issues that they are overwhelmed with, or something that is bothering them, they tend to come, to lay their complaint, to tell us, this is actually what transpired, this is what happened. But when they feel unheard, when they feel like they are telling you something, but you're not listening, that child will, in fact, the kind of tantrum the child will showcase, you'll be amazed. You'll be like, what is wrong? The child will be, I am talking to you, but you're not listening. Okay, I've been talking for a while, I've been talking over and over about this particular thing, about this person that is always bullying me, but you kept saying that you just ignore them. All right, your child might be experiencing maybe bully, but because you are this type of parents that will always say, when they beat you, when anybody look for your trouble, just ignore them. Even when they bully you, even if they try to beat you, leave them. And the child will keep on coming home, explaining, trying to explain the same thing over and over again to you. And you don't even want to, you don't find the need to go to the school, report to the authorities, and let them know, to tell them to tell the child's parents to call their child in order. And yet you didn't feel the need to do that. So now your child is angry because that same child did not feel the need to stop, and no one has warned the child. Even you as the parent is still telling your child to tolerate it, and now the child is telling you, and you feel you are not even listening. You feel it's something that is normal, it's something that the child can take, whereas the child is experiencing this emotional damage. This will I call, your child is being, what will I say, which word will be right for it? I don't know, but I believe you guys understand what I'm saying. Your child feels is always being threatened, always being bullied, you get, and it's affecting your child emotionally, yet you don't feel the need to go and report to the authorities, to tell the child's parents to put their child in order. All right. So now your child is angry over it, and you expect the child to keep quiet when the child is fed up with you not listening to him or her. I don't think I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying honestly. But when a child feels unheard, when a child feels that each time he or she brings a complaint or try to say something or try to express his or her own opinion over something, nobody listens to him or her, that child definitely will not be happy. In fact, you have to have the tendency of you having this child to always be moody at home is 100% because no one listens to him or her. So your child is always unhappy. All right. So that is why I say you are the adult. Find a way, think of a way. Ask yourself, what is my child's problem? You don't, because your child is angry, you feel that you can, use your, superiority in, influence to subdue the child or to tell the child to shut up or tell the child that the child has no right to express his or her emotions. That is totally wrong. All right. So, mind you, as a parent, when your child feels unheard, when explaining some things to you, the child will not be happy. All right. So that's number 4. So the number 5 is too much pressure. I can remember. Let me tell you a little story. A parent, when there was a time we went for a PTA meeting, and a parent was complaining that the child is no longer happy attending that school. The reason is this, and this is a general problem. When you tend to just listen, you figure out that this is actually a general problem, not just me saying it. A lot of private schools these days, they tend to give a child a lot of homework. Some things, whereas in school, they are probably not doing a lot of it. They're probably, even with the long periods, or let's say the long hours children spend in school these days, still they do little or less of the homework they come home with. That's one thing I love about China. In China, they are being, they are giving a lot of home activities, like not home activities, class work, class activities to do in class. So you see them always writing, always solving a lot of things in class. The same way they go home, they will give them lesser so that they can be able to rest. But here in our country, a lot of children, with the long period of time they spend in school, you see them coming back home with bigger homeworks that you'll be imagining. A lot of quantitative reasoning, with the quantitative reasoning, the child is also coming back with mathematics, the child is also coming back with verbal, like a lot of calculations that you as a parent, you begin to wonder, when is my child going to solve this, and when will my child have a proper rest at home? Okay, in the long hours they spent in school, what have they been doing? Is it not right for you as a teacher to give the child classwork to solve? You get, let them solve, do a lot of activities. You are there, you monitor them, but you just give them simple things. Or paraventure, you just write something on the board and tell them to copy, and at the end of the day you are packing the whole things for them to go back to their parents. Whereas some of these parents are not educated. Some of these parents are not, a lot of parents are not good in mathematics. They are not good in calculation courses, subjects. Sorry, let me not use courses because it's university language. Are not good in mathematics subjects. And now the child is you are packing a whole lot of assignments, homework for the child to carry home. The child number one, the child will be frustrated because he or she does not have anyone to help him at home to solve it. The child will, somehow we are teaching the child to be disappointed in their parents because their parents cannot solve that home activity. See, I don't know, when I'm talking about paying children to get upset, I don't know if anybody is reasoning with me because these are These are a lot of things that are making our children out there to be very much angry. All right, that this is a call for a concern. Okay, so if please, I'm talking to each and every one of us. If you happen to be someone that has a school, or you own a school in one way or the other, please go back, tell your teachers to engage your pupils, your students in more of the classwork. Let them stay there and monitor them. Let them give a child homework that they know, they truly know that the child can solve on his or her, or on his or her own. Don't give a child a homework that the child will go back to meet the parents that is not a teacher. The child is going back home to meet his parents that does not know mathematics to solve, or how to solve mathematics. Now you are packing the whole thing for the child to go and battle it with their parents. Before you know it, on the process of them doing that homework, the child will be frustrated. The mother, or the father, or whosoever that is helping them out in that home activity will be frustrated, because it is you that have the idea of how to do that home activity, and not the parents, not the guidance, not whosoever that is helping that child. Please, if you happen to have a school, tell your teachers to give children lesser home activities, so long as it's no weekend. Even if it happens to be weekend, children, there is also other activities that parents need to engage them, not just every time that they are battling, they are trying to solve mathematics in one way or the other. All right, those ones, monitor your students, monitor your pupils in school. Know what your pupil that you are sending home with class activity, know the kind of activity or class or homework they can be able to solve before you give it to them. Don't just try to frustrate parents, or try to frustrate that child with a lot of home activities, a lot of homework. All right, the child will be frustrated. Before you know it, the child will start throwing tantrums all over the home, all over the place, because he or she is finding it difficult to do their homework. All right, that is when I call when I'm basically talking about pressure. All right, the homework is, the child is overwhelmed, like the child doesn't know even the point he or she needs to start with. All right, and another thing, the child is, because the parents cannot solve it. See, why growing up, I had a lot of these experiences, and I figured out that this is a problem that each and every one of us needs to, bend down and talk about. All right, please, as a teacher, give your students, your pupil, home activity you know that truly they can solve on their own. When your students, or when your people cannot solve his or her home activity, it means you're not putting effort towards that child. Put more effort. Yes, that's why the child is in school. All right, you can't bring the child after teaching, the child still did not grab anything, and you are packing the home activity for the parents to solve. Is the parent the teacher? I know the parents are supposed to, help their children in one way or the other, but I'm speaking in the aspect of parents that are not educated. What do you expect them to do? No, I don't know. I'm sorry to say this, but please always give your children, let's say your pupils, your students, home activities that they can be able to solve with the examples, with what you've taught them so far. Please, teachers out there, please manage you. I admire your great work, your effort, your hard work towards the growth, towards the betterment, to see that every one of our children out there are being educated. All right, but please pay more attention to your pupils and know the areas that they are perfect. Know the areas where you need to come in and apply your teaching skill more. So that's basically what I want to say. And reason why a lot of children get angry, or will I say throw tantrums, or get upset at some point in their lives, or is problem with friends or siblings. This one is common. When there is a misunderstanding between children and their friends, it tends to transform to see them being angry. They're coming back home. You heard that your child fought in school. You heard that your child fought. It's because of misunderstanding. So this, when your child happen to fight, or let's say fought with someone, the child will not be happy throughout the day. So there's a tendency that the child will be moody and all of that. Okay. And also when the child happens to, be dragging toys with their siblings, those things, this one is common at home. So you get to see that your child will be crying, and the best thing is for you to look out for another toy and hand it over to him or her. So please, all of this thing requires wisdom. That is why you see Mr. A's child, they act differently or act more mature, like they you can easily communicate and they understand more than Mr. B's children. All right, it's because their parents tends to understand them more. Their parents tends to pay more attention on how to go about when it comes to raising them, or when it comes to things that concerns their children. They pay more attention to details, those little things that Mr. B ignores while raising his children. Mr. A pay more attention to it, and now the children, they communicate more. They tend to understand each other like they are no longer children. Okay, so please pay more attention to your children. Know the reason why your child is angry and apply wisdom. Okay, you can never gain anything from shouting. The more every time you're screaming, oh, you're always screaming, you're always screaming, you're always screaming. See, when a child is angry and you, the parents, happens, or let's say, gets angry also, the child will be more upset. The child will be very much upset because he or she feels that you don't want to know the reason for their anger. All right, so you need to ask yourself, what is bothering my child, what is the reason for my child's anger, before you know how, so you can know how to go about it. All right, so that is basically the number 6 reasons why a lot of children tends to be angry, showcases anger, or will I say expresses their emotions through tantrums. All right. And mind you, some children, another reason why they showcase angers and they throw tantrums at home here and there is because they tend to copy. Yes. Children, a lot of children mimic they even mimic adults, because when they see you shouting often and they see you expressing anger, you being so aggressive, the child will also model your attitude. You as the adult, you're the one teaching the child that when he or she is angry or being offended, he should scream and say, "Who took my blah blah?" Or let's say, "Who took my snack? What is going on? Give me back my snack! Give me back my snack! Who took my snack?" Something, things like that. So you get to see a lot of children acting up. It's because they learn it from adults at home. All right. So that's why I say shouting cannot get you anywhere. The best thing is pay attention to details, know how to go about it. All right, you need to apply wisdom 100% when you are raising your children. I know we are humans, we often make mistakes. That is, it's inevitable, but it is important that we work towards perfection. All right, try to we are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. All right. Even me that is saying all these things, I don't know it. Or I'm not perfect. All right. But it is important to work towards perfection, because that is how you are going to know the areas you have made mistakes, the areas that your parents made mistakes while raising you. Then you try to correct it now that you have your own kids, you have your own children around. Okay. So please always work towards perfection. I know, try to be optimistic when raising children. All right, try to be optimistic, because it will help them to know their right from their wrong. Okay, it will also help them to be more disciplined. Okay, yes. So please, Like I said earlier, whenever a child is angry or whenever a child is throwing tantrums, it indicates that there's something is wrong. Okay? And the right way to go about it is not you being angry as their parent, is you being all right. Try to understand, figure out a way, ask yourself, what is the cause of my child's anger? What could have triggered my child to start throwing tantrums? Unlike him, unlike her. All right. Then that way you can know the right way to go about it. I know about that. I'm carried away with what I'm saying all along, but I figure that it's something important and it's something that I need to teach and tell us about. All right. So please, if you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to my channel. I know a lot of people, this is not the kind of channel, or let's say the kind of things you want to vibe into. When you subscribe and you when you subscribe your data and you want to log into social media, look out for things that will make you laugh and all of that, and along the line you're coming across this channel and you're coming across my teaching, my live stream. All right, I am sorry if this is not your kind of channel that you vibe into, but please, no knowledge is a waste. Okay, at some point in your life, these things I'm saying will help you one way or the other. And don't say I'm single, I'm not married, for the ladies, or be it a lady or be it a guy out there. Please, when you have this kind of knowledge at hand, at the back of your head, at some point in your life, definitely you get married and you have your own kids, because it's inevitable. Because this is something that at some point in everyone's life, you feel that urge, that hunger to have your own home, to be married, to have your own kids and raise them, keep them. I don't know how to, I really don't know how to express this, but it is something that is inevitable. You, at some point in life, nobody will tell you need to get married or you need to have your own kids. You have the hunger in you to have your own children, to raise your own children. All right. And I believe you don't want to make the same mistakes your parents made while raising you. Okay, that is why you need to know all of these things, and that is why I will say that I'm apologizing if this is not your kind of channel, and also on the other hand, I'm not apologizing because no knowledge is a waste. At some point in your parenting journey, you tend to see some of this knowledge that you are grabbing at this moment, helping you to get rid of a lot of parenting challenges that you will be facing. All right. So please do well to subscribe to my channel, and please also share this video. All right, if it's convenient for you enough, because a lot of people, when you tend to share things in their platform or in their page, they'll be like, please, you are disturbing, or please, you are intruding. All right, so if it's not convenient enough for you to share it, leave it. All right, at least I'm glad that you are able to hear it, but if you happen to have someone that also needs to hear this, you can then share it with the person. All right, so thank you for tuning in to my live stream. Don't forget to always join and always feel free to ask your questions. I am glad that a lot of you are are a lot of you are having the same, or will I say, experiencing, or will I say, understand what I'm talking about. Much for staying with throughout the end of this live stream. All right, so thank you so much. I appreciate. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. All right, because when I'm done teaching like this and I tend to have questions coming up, it shows that it indicates that there's actually someone listening, and also it indicates that we are making progress in this particular platform. All right, please, if you have a question, feel free to ask. All right, I love it when this channel is interactive, because it's something that we need to talk about, to discuss, and also to figure out the way forward. All right, in one way or the other, you might feel somehow that someone is not, or maybe a lot of people are not interested in this, but even as me and you are, even as I'm talking and you're asking questions, someone that is watching this is learning from it. Okay, and other people who will also see this after this live stream will also learn from it. Okay, So please, no knowledge is a waste. If you have an idea or also know another thing that can make a child, that can prompt a child to, or that can trigger a child's anger, or can make a child to be angry while someone, a parent is raising his or her child, please let us know. Drop it here on this platform. I will appreciate it a whole lot. And for those of you who are looking for a way to get to me or to reach out to me in person, please, on my description you will see on the channel, please try to subscribe. That's another thing, it will help us to go more. And please, on my description, read it down. At the bottom of the description, my description, you will see an email address. All right, please, you can reach out to me through that email. All right, please do well to reach out to me if you feel the need to, all right, or if you feel that there's something you want us to discuss in private, or basically there's something you want to ask, all right, in private, please do well to feel free to reach out through the email. Or you feel that your child is going through something that you are looking for a solution to it, please feel free to email me. All right, send me an email and we will get in touch. Okay, I will definitely get in touch with you once I see your email. All right, so thank you so much. If you have a question, feel free to ask. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more I'm having subscribers after my teachings. It helps YouTube to share the video more, and so that other people will get to see it. So thank you so much for tuning in, for staying from the beginning of this live stream to the end of it. I still remain your humble girl, Chiso Vivian Ebeblim, and thank you for joining my live stream. And bye. See you on my next live stream, and God bless you. Bye.